Welcome to the Fishability Fishing Challenge. I'm Jason Ehrlich.
And I'm Jason Medcalf.
And we're all about fishing challenges.
Yep, and fishing challenges where we challenge ourselves
to catch different species under trying circumstances. Could be bad weather, could be big tides. We don't know what we're in store for yet.
You know what it's like. You only have a certain amount of time off. We all work for a living, Jace, and you've got to plan your trips, do your research, and there's so many things that can happen. You can't control the weather, you can't control the tides.
And to spice things up, Jace, we've made things even tougher by giving ourselves a time limit.
So come along and enjoy the ride with Jason and Jason on the Fishability Fishing Challenge.
Yes. Geez, the roads are a little bit ordinary, Jace.
Well, you know, it's a challenge. That's what we're about. We're about a fishing challenge, but it's not just a fishing challenge, it's a challenge just to get here.
And today, Jace has actually challenged me to catch a queenfish, and things are going to be a little bit difficult. The weather prediction isn't good. We're expecting strong winds, strong tides, so we're going to be a little bit pushed for time, I think.
We haven't got much time, Jace. I mean, we don't have enough time to spend all that time chasing and looking for where the fish are. We've got to get out there, get the fish. We've got plenty of wind and tide coming. So the challenge isn't just the species, we're going to have the weather and conditions as well.
I don't mind a challenge against the elements. The 4-metre polycraft, 4.1 Challenger. Let's see if she's up to the task. We're going to head outside. We're almost at the spot in the car. Let's keep going. We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Our adventurous trip into the spot continued over bumpy roads and creeks. On the way, Jace had been bragging about his new 30-second tent from OzTent and how easy it was to put up. Well, I didn't want to get in his way, so I sat back and relaxed while he did all the work. After all, I was going to need some rest before we hit the water at first light the following morning. Now was the time to kick back and prepare for the Queenfish Challenge. It was game day, and so far, conditions were brilliant. The sun poked its head over the horizon just as we reached the spot. It was a rocky headland, and there was plenty of structure to break the strong current flow and attract big predators. I fired a couple of long, sneaky casts into the rocks while Jace positioned the boat right over the spot. Then he jumped up on the front deck, grabbed his popper rod, and you'd never guess what happened next. First cast of the day.
Oh, yep.
There he goes.
Oh, done me.
Truly. Oh, you said he did, ya?
He did. I pulled out of the hooks. And then he's grabbed it. Something else has grabbed it.
You're kidding.
On the way up.
Normally I'd help you, but if there's that many there.
Wow. Oh.
How deep are we?
Oh.
We're 30 foot.
30 foot. Oh. Now Jason's challenge is a queenfish. Now, unfortunately for him, I've already got one. I've got another nice one right here. Hopefully this will stir him up and get him onto his own queenfish. But what I've done here is we've come out and we're fishing out in southeast Queensland, and we're fishing it right at this very minute. I'm wrestling quite a nice queen on a Halco rooster popper. We're working these poppers like they're wounded fish. Pop, pop, pop. This guy's come up out of the fast running water. He's whacked the popper. He's gone underwater and he's done a run, and I've pulled out of him. I felt the hooks pull, so I've gone, oh no. Obviously there's so many down there at the moment. The next one come along and ate that popper while it was underwater. So this is pretty cool. Oh, look at you. What a beautiful looking fish. Okay, that's a big fish. He's not going to be happy with me. No, he's not. Not happy at all. Oh, look at you. What a fantastic looking queenfish. Might get those hooks out. They weren't coming out in a hurry.
That is a cracking fish, Chase.
Have a look at that, mate.
I'd love to get myself one of those. Like,
well, that is your challenge, mate.
I'm hanging out. You got the first cast in. First cast of the day.
And look what we've got.
I bet you it takes me longer than one cast, so well, I'm busting to get in there.
I really, really want you to catch your own one of those because they are a fantastic fish.
Hopefully, this isn't the only queenfish I get to hold today, so we'll pop him back in and see if I can get one. Well, we're back at the spot. I'm going to have a crack myself. Mr. Medcalf, he showed me how to do it. So now it's my turn. Let's see if I can get this queenfish. Pop a big long cast right out over that flat.
Come on, Queenie, 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 Queenie. Have to do the Queenie dance, mate. Queenie song.
I'll do the Queenie dance when I catch one.
Do the Queenie song. You've got to call them to you.
What's that bird looking at? I thought I saw a little ripple underneath him, a splash. Could be wrong. Not moving much, are we? Very steady. Nice little drift. It's going to be a good one. Now, Jace, you're a big show-off this morning. You know, we went into that spot, first cast, you caught that fish. How often does that happen? Like, we've been fishing now, both of us, for a fair while, and, you know, we haven't raised another fish. What's going on? Like, what's your prediction?
Well, you know, that can be the case sometimes. Fish are there, you catch one, and they bolt, they move, and you've got to chase them around and find out where they've gone and what they're doing. There might not have been as big a school there as first anticipated. They might have been just visiting, turning up there, and we just happened to intercept them at just the right time.
Having said that, like, you know, we've been looking around, we've been seeing just individual fish bust up here and there, like, so maybe you're right, maybe they just are cruising around.
Yeah. We were just lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time. And what we've got to keep doing now is just keeping our eye out and using our senses and what we know about fish to make sure we get put back in that right place at the right time. And you do that by seeing the birds working, the movement, the bait flicking.
Yep. Keep the lure in the water too. You're not going to catch a fish with the lure out of the water, so just keep fishing hard.
Keep fishing. That's part of the challenge. It's not just a fishing challenge. A lot of the times it's a fairly physical challenge.
It's poppering, yeah, it does. It does start to wear you out a little bit.
What we might have to do to get this challenge done is when the sun comes up and sometimes the pelagics go a bit deeper, we might have to put a couple of diving lures on.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at the sounder and have a troll around and get those lures down to where those fish are, because they might not be as willing to come to the surface now.
That's exactly right, yep.
So we'll give this technique a little while longer. We don't have a lot of time. The challenge is to get this done before the big wind change comes through, which is due very soon. But the sooner we get this done, the better. So a change of tact might just be on the cards, mate.
I've got a few favourites in my tackle box there.
Well, let's hope they don't find any big trevally that keep your favourites into their tackle box. They are famous for it around these rocks. The big GTs. They're very hard to stop in this country through here.
Especially with this tackle.
It's a challenge, Jay.
The rest, look at the fish busting up out the back of that current line. Yeah, what's going on here? Like,
why are we here?
Yeah, why are we here and not out there with those, where I just saw those fish?
Well, where we are, we're on the other side of the other current line. There's a rock that's breaking up all the current. The tide's running rampant at the moment because they're big tides. And we're on either side. There's two sides of that current being broken up by that rock. We can see the fish busting on that side, but they'll also bust on this side if the bait comes here. The smooth stuff in the middle is where the rocks have broken up that water and it's smoothing it off. The pelagic fish, they want this ripply, fast running water because it hides their ambushing and it forces the bait fish into a, they've got to make a decision. The bait fish are fighting the current, and then all of a sudden they're going to have either a trevally or a queenfish or a mackerel flying through this fast running water chasing them. And that's what we're doing. We're imitating a bait fish trying to flee from those predators. And what we want them to do is find ours and catch ours a bit more than catching the bait fish. So you're working a surface popper, which gives them a lot of splash and noise, and it makes it look like something's already hit it. A lot of bait fish jump out of the water to try and get away from the pelagics. What I've got on here is I'm fishing a slice, so it goes down a bit deeper.
So Jace, what you're saying is I'm attracting the fish for you and you're catching them.
Well, kind of. I can live with that.
This is a setup. I think I've been set up.
That's your challenge, Jace. I think the challenge right now for us is to get over to the other side over there where we're just constantly watching fish bust up.
There's quite a few. We saw them there when we first got here, and we just saw 3 or 4 just go again then. They're big fish too. Well, we're talking, fish around 1 metre long that we're seeing busting up. So some big ones about.
So we might...
They're a long way out too from the rock, aren't they, on that current line?
Yeah,
so.
there is a drop off over there, so there probably is a boiling current underneath there pushing the bait fishing.
If they're a long way out there, I might try a cast down this way. Down that current line, just out into the open rather than at the rock.
We're trying surface and a slug,
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter what sort of fishing you do, it always pays to mix it up, doesn't it?
It does, we mix it up. And it may not be a surface popper and a slug, we might get onto a few fish later, we might have to go to a plastic or something like that. So the fish make the rules. It's our challenge to find out what the rules are today to get them to bite our lures.
Well, if I had my watch on, I'd be able to tell you that the hours are ticking by and I still have to catch my queenfish.
You do. So let's put a bit more of a concerted effort in you actually doing that.
Jeez, I'll have sore muscles by the end of the day.
Jace fired up the motor and we headed for the current line on the other side of the exposed rock. On the way there, we saw exactly what we were looking for. Big fish busting up on the surface. I wasn't wasting any time, so I cast the rooster popper across some eddying water and started a looping retrieve.
Yeah! Oh, beauty!
Finally I was hooked up, but was this fish my target species, the queenfish? It was going nuts, shaking its head, changing directions and peeling some line. Then it came to the surface and jumped. You beauty, monster queenie.
What a jump! Down again!
Well, if you're going to wait for over 2 hours to get a bite, you may as well make it a big one.
He's better than I thought. There he goes. Our fish is pretty heavy because we're so close to that rock. I'm on 30-pound braid. 30-pound braid, a little drop shot rod, and a Sahuron SX60. He's not a bad fish. I saw the take and he looked like, oh gee. I saw the take, he looked like a small one, but he's much better than I thought. He's approaching that metre long side, which is definitely what I want to get. And I'm a surface popper on a Halco rooster popper. What do you like it? I'm mistaken what this fish is, Dave. We're in jump skin time, that's pretty awesome. the one I was after. I said he wasn't going to go a metre, but I tell you, I think he is. Oh.
Big queenfish are a lot of fun. They explode on surface lures, jump and pull hard. It had taken a lot of casting to hook this beauty, and I really needed the hooks to hold to complete the challenge. When you're fighting big fish, there's so many things that can go wrong. Would this fish be mine? Rushing things near the boat is where a lot of big fish are lost. I needed to take my time and ease this monster in. It was the moment of truth.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo! Check that baby out. I got it. I've got my queenfish.
Finally, I'd done it. I'd nailed a queenfish. And no ordinary queenfish. For southeast Queensland waters, this fish was big.
I think we might put this guy on a brag mat just to see how big he actually is. What a beautiful fish. 110 centimetres of queenfish. And it took me quite a while to get this fish today. I had to fish pretty hard. But geez, it was worthwhile. They're a great fish. Gonna spear him back. Her confidence is running high. I think I can get another one now. Pop him back. Okay. Oh, we got a mackerel.
There was a little more action before the session was over, but unfortunately no more queenfish. It was time to call it a day. The wind and big seas weren't far away.
Nice little mackerel, we'll pop him back. We'll catch you later. Come on, queenfish time, that's what I want. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the gear that I was using to catch that queenfish. First of all, the lure. A nice Halco wrist popper, big cut face popper, pushing out plenty of water like that, plenty of splash imitating that struggling bait fish. Of course, I've got to have a leader on that, so there's some 40-pound fluorocarbon down to some 30-pound braid, all the way back to the 6,000 or a 6 size reel. And I've got a nice spinning rod there, about 7 foot long. This one's an 8 to 12 kg rod, so I can put a fair bit of hurt on those fish, turn them when they're trying to get me back down into that rock. It's not every day I get to come out here on a day like this. Have a look at it, it's just perfect, and chase these magnificent fish. Now the Queenfish Challenge, it was a tough one. It took a few hours to finally get that bite, and the bite stuck. Managed to get that fish in the boat. Challenge complete.